It's the scene between myself and Kira where Bashkim is kind of trying to screw with her mind a little bit, if you want to call it.
Your comic timing? It's perfect.
As actors, we have a process and we have a way of how we work with the lines and with the character. And if someone in that process comes in and tells you the way how you do this line is perfect, it's going to be hard to go back to what you were doing again.
How art thou out of breath when thou hast breath to say to me that thou art out of breath, the excuse that thou dost make in this delay?
Hang on. What happened there?
Where?
You know where, Kira? That used to be quite funny.
And so Bashkim kind of pulls that card on Kira, and the chemistry there, and that has to be one of my favorite scene and my favorite line.
My favorite scene was, I guess, what in our production was the balcony scene. I loved the moment where she's talking into the mirror, talking to herself about Orson. She's finally admitting to herself that she's in love.
Why does he have to be an actor? I don't trust actors. I work with Kieran Milan. How can I help it? Actors lie for a living. They pretend to be people that they aren't.
It's basically the Wherefore Art Thou Romeo little monologue there. She's really admitting to herself that she's now fallen for this guy, and he's overhearing her right outside the dressing room.
I think my favorite was working with Arbor as Bashkim, because we were shooting one of the scenes where we're plotting revenge on the actors. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning. We were shooting it, and everybody was just starting to lose their minds. So the whole thing with the can I say that?
Yeah, you can
with
say
the
it.
retractable blade, where we're both of us were kind of, he actually had the blade and was just fiddling around with it, and then I got to just like cackle at 4 o'clock in the morning, like a random theater in Long Beach. Yeah, but that was my favorite part.
I really, really loved working with Mark Jacobson, who was the fake Romeo, because those scenes were they were really, really funny.
Let me be. 10.
He's super easy to work with, and I've ended up working with him further. It actually sort of formed a really lovely theatrical friendship.
My favorite person to work with on set is a little woman named Stephanie, or I call her Butter, because she's my little butter slice. She loves butter. She eats it all the time, so she was probably a good budget saver for Crafty, because they just put out butter and she would eat it. Stephanie was the first AC, and she did a great job along with everyone else on set, but she was just a little cuter.
My favorite scene to shoot was with Bashkim up in the up above the theater, the sword fighting scene.
Ouchie!
That was just really fun because I've never done anything like that before, and put some hair on my chest.
I don't know, everybody was a lot of fun to work with. I found Chris really intimidating because he's really, really funny. He's really funny. So in a couple scenes where I had to be ready to improv with him, I was terrified.
I don't want to be rude.
Yes.
I don't know who you are. And you just walked into the theater, and we're trying to do like our own thing right now. So.
This is a really important scene.
And like, you're not supposed to be here, I don't think.
Why are you wearing that shirt?
See, that question makes me think that you shouldn't be here.
But it was also really fun to watch him work. I don't know, I could say something nice about everybody.
I had a great time working with my surrogate son. I don't want to say too much, but we had one scene where I had a very difficult time getting through it. I think everybody did because of what's going on behind me. We will be revenged on the whole pack of you. We all had a hard time getting through it with a straight face.
Working with Idan, the cinematographer, was an extraordinary experience, and one that I just repeated on our next project together, which is called Roadies. Look out for it; it's coming soon. He's just an extraordinarily talented guy and dedicated. He knows literally everything there is to know about cinematography and cinematic history, and it's crazy. I don't know how somebody his age has that much experience and knowledge, but he's somebody who spends his free time doing things like Empty Space and hanging out at the ASC clubhouse and bothering ASC members on the weekend for their time and just hanging out with them and learning everything there is to know. It's rare to meet somebody like him, and I'm extremely lucky to have had the opportunity to work with him.
Watch Empty Space.
Watch Empty Space.
Watch Empty Space.
Watch Empty Space.
Watch Empty Space.